Morning, it's Tuesday the 20th of March 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk. Slightly cooler, slightly warmer outside actually. I've already been out to put my first lot of rubbish in the bin. Where's it all come from? It's all like bits of plastic and everything that I've, last night when I come in from work, I usually have a couple of corn steaks, some mashed potato and some baked beans. And it all comes in plastic, doesn't it? It's very strange and mysterious. Got to get rid of the plastic, dear. The little fishes are eating it and you're eating the fishes. Terrible. Well, we had a wonderful karaoke last night. Very busy again, sort of from the word go. I did get a name wrong yesterday on the birthdays. I can't remember who it is now. Hang on, let me type something in. I thought I'd written that down. Just a minute. Whose birthdays names did I get wrong? Is it that one? Oh, damn, I can't remember who it was now. Oh, it was 30. I know it's 31. I can see it. Kumar. Kumar. Oh, I can't remember his name. Kumar. Oh, he said last night you got my name wrong yesterday. I'm going to get it wrong again today, aren't I? Hang on a minute. I've got to find it. I must bet we're always open to corrections, boys and girls. Always open to corrections. I do know that a lot of people, they only watch the programme to look for errors and faults. And they're so quick to go. They don't join in anything else other than moaning and finding in errors. And this was one of them. There we are, Kuram. It was his birthday yesterday. So sorry about that, Kuram. And I haven't seen him for, must be 2 years at least. And his friend Peter Robinson came in last night and did one of my favourite songs of all time, Young Hearts Run Free. He did that one. And on the radio, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, on the radio. You know that one, don't you? So he done those two yesterday. And of course, karaoke legend, Tim Partington turned up as well last night, so that was all very nice. And as I say, it was a busy night. It was so busy that most people only sung twice. It's a funny thing, as I've said before, with the karaoke, you don't want a quiet night. You don't want a quiet night because people come so that other people can see them sing. Doesn't matter whether they can sing or not, irrelevant. But that's why they do it. They want to sing and they want to be seen to sing. Now, if it's dead, there's no one there to see them singing. They might sing 10 times, but no one's going to see them. Okay? If it's very busy, they may only sing twice. And they don't like that either. It's a very fine line. The optimum number of singers is probably about 15 to 20. Somewhere there and you're okay. Once you start going over 20, you sing less and less. 33 and they moan and they moan. I haven't sung for 2 hours. Neither has anyone else, mate. Can you put us up the list? No! Not fair, dear. Not fair. So that was great last night. We had a bit of trouble with the Wi-Fi last night in there, which keeps happening, actually. It's got to be the distance between me and the router, I think. I am quite far away from the router, which I think is on the top floor. And then there's another floor, and then there's us on the bottom. And if the router's there, I'm 1, 2, and right across the other side. So I'm thinking it's distance from router. Now, we can either get a cable to the router, which is, I don't think that's going to be possible, to be honest, or a Wi-Fi extender. So I've ordered, and they're only 20 quid. How are they so cheap? Always amazes me, when you get this little box of electronics and it's like 15 quid. Or you can buy a shirt from Ted Baker for like 150 quid. Just a bit of material, with a bit of stitching done. That's all. 150 quid for a shirt or 15 quid for all that technology packed into that little plastic box. So I've actually ordered one of those. Hopefully it'll be here before Friday and we'll try that out and see if that makes an improvement. But the Wi-Fi got so bad. And the funny thing is, it works. The Wi-Fi that drops out seems to work for a while. And then for some reason, it just stops. Why is that? What is the reason? How comes it can work for so long? Like we had a good hour and 40 minutes, it was working, and then just suddenly, and then the red light started flashing on my computer, indicating the Wi-Fi had dropped out. I don't understand how that happens. You would think once it's there and it's like, oh, yeah, that seems fine. And you would think it would just work forevermore then, wouldn't you? This where I do here, I'm plugged straight into the router with wires. I mean, you're always going to be better with wires, aren't you, really? Talking of wires and Wi-Fi and radio stuff, very interesting. The BBC, let's see if I can find the story for you. BBC, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. This was on the BBC News website yesterday. And it says, you know, for years and years now, they've been telling us they're going to turn off the FM radio transmitters, you know. So, for example, LBC is on 97.3 FM, okay? Radio 2, 88 to 91 FM. Whereas on DAB, it's just names, isn't it? There's no frequencies. So it's Radio London. LBC, there's no numbers. Well, now the BBC says it wants to keep FM radio for the foreseeable future, rather than switch entirely over to digital. BBC Director of Music said audience want choice. We need to do more in the UK before we consider a switchover, and for that be genuinely led by the audience. We are fully committed to digital, and we believe we should review the landscape again in a few years' time. The government is due to undertake a review of FM and DAB later this spring once digital listeners make up 50% of consumers. So we're still not up to 50%. How long have we had DAB now? 15 years? 20 years? And we're still not up to 50%. You can still, stupidly, in my opinion, buy an FM radio. You know, if you were told FM's going to be switched off at some point, surely you'd stop selling those things. I don't get it. It would be premature to shut down analog, this bloke says. Great progress has been made, but switchover now would be premature. For now, we believe audience are best served by a mixed economy. One big advantage of DAB, it says, is that there's more space for more stations as the FM spectrum is overcrowded. Yeah, but the signal isn't as good. The signal is not as good on DAB. Now, I've discovered talk radio now. Talk radio. It's a bit like LBC, but a bit more, how would you say? It's a bit less. LBC has become very serious, isn't it? Except for Steve Allen, who's just hilarious in the morning. I'm a big fan of Steve Allen. LBC has become very serious, and it's the same subjects all the time. It's always the same subjects, whether it's Brexit or... and it seems to be very anti-religious, LBC, doesn't it? Have you noticed that? Very anti-religious. And it's the same subjects going round and round again. Talk radio is a bit more rambling, not like I do, but it's a bit more... Eamonn Holmes is on in the afternoon. And I've really enjoying his programmes on there. He's rambling. He rambles a bit, like me. He rambles a bit, but there is serious bits in it as well. LBC is just totally serious. There's no fun. All the fun's gone. We like to have a bit of fun, don't we? Fun, fun, fun. I just can't wait for Saturday. Oh, maybe not this week. But we like a bit of fun. Talk radio is a little bit more rambling and a little bit more, can I use the term laddie? It's a bit more laddie. And I don't listen to her in the morning now because I'm usually asleep at that time. But they have the wonderful Julia Hartley Brewer on there. She's fantastic. We love Jules. And Eamonn Holmes does the drive time. I think it's 4 p.m. till 7 p.m, something like that. James Wales on afternoon. I quite like him. I'm not a fan of Ian Lee's stuff. Never have been. Can't bear him. Can't bear the Ian Lee stuff. But most of the stuff on talk radio is quite good. Now, that's on DAB only. Now, it's on the national DAB, so you should be able to go anywhere and pick it up. I lose it on the M3. Not completely. It goes off and comes back on again. And I also lose it when I'm driving around Bracknell. The best example I can give of FM versus DAB, LBC is now on DAB as well all over the country. But before they were on DAB just in London and on FM. And you could listen to LBC all the way from London right the way down to Brighton and back again. No problem. You get a bit of hissing when there's a dip as you go on the motorway going to Brighton. There's like a big dip in the road and you lose it there. You used to lose it there for a little bit. Okay, but generally you could pick it up right the way down to Brighton. With the DAB, once you was outside the M25, that was it, mate. Couldn't hear it anymore. The DAB signal is not as good. I don't care what the technical people say, it's not. Yeah, okay, you can cram in 2 million radio stations on there. The good thing about DAB is that you've got all those other little stations on there, haven't you? You know, doing various communities, religious things. There's a Christian station. There's not an ISIS station, not ISIS. There's a an Islam. That's it, Islam. There's an Islam station. There's a Christian station. There's a Polish station, and they're all on there. That's the beauty. You can get little stations all crammed into the same thing, but the signal isn't as good, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Of course, that whole FM DAB thing, the fact that the BBC says that we would like to stay on FM, that's not up to them. It's up to Ofcom. They don't control the radio, so I think they're hoping that Ofcom are reading that and that they continue to do it on FM. Also, I mean, you can have lots of little stations on FM as well. Can't you really? Is it cheaper to go? I don't know if it's cheaper to go or not. Anyway, let's say hello to some of you who are watching this morning. Just a moment, please. Let me scroll back to the beginning. Good morning to Stella Andrews, who gets the first message in this morning. Morning, Diane. Lovely Diane Jep. Hope you're okay. We should talk about Lorraine Kelly's stupid comments on her show. Didn't see it yesterday regarding Ant. Oh, Ant from I Just Can't Wait for Saturday. Except not this week, unfortunately, because he smashed his car, hasn't he? Smashed his car up. Now, I'm looking at that. I've been looking at the pictures, actually. And, of course, some Herbert's got the whole thing filmed on a little... I'm a little bit untidy this morning, aren't I? Some Herbert's filmed it on an iPhone or a mobile phone and posted it up on the internet. And at Lower Richmond Road. Now, I know that road like the back of my hand, and I don't recognise it. I don't recognise the bit where they are. I'm not quite sure exactly where. Because Lower Richmond Road is a long road. It starts in Wandsworth, goes through Putney. No, that's the... Oh, I got the wrong one. Upper Richmond Road. Yeah, Lower Richmond Road, next to the Thames, that's it. So it starts in Putney, and it goes through Barnes, one side of Mortlake, and Richmond. That's the road, and I can't recognise quite where that wall is. I mean, I can do the whole length of it, actually. I might do that tonight, because I might have date tonight. Might have, don't know. People are very good at, saying, oh, shall we go out or something, and then letting me down at the last minute. That happens a lot. You don't want to know how often that happens, but I'm not staying in tonight again. I stayed in on Sunday night and I hated it. I hate staying in. I've got to go out. If I can't work, I'm going to have to start going out. That's the way it is. Yes, I might drive along there tonight if I've got time and see if I can work out whereabouts it was. But I'm not recognising that part of the Lower Richmond Road at all. Very strange and mysterious, that's what it is. Good morning to Ants, who's sunning it in Thailand this morning. Good morning, Thailand. I'm glad you're enjoying the afternoon tea. And the boys as well. Of course, there's lots of them in Thailand. There to see to your every need. I'm sure they are, Ants. I hope it's costing you a fortune. Stella says, why are the new titles of your images of London only when the show's called United Kingdom? Because that's where the film was done. That's where the film was done. That's it. I ain't got time to go out and do small places like where you live, Stella. We want the main place in the United Kingdom. Where is it you live, lovey? Some tiny little rundown village somewhere, is it? People are not interested in seeing that. You know, when people come from abroad, they don't go and say, oh, let's go and see where Stella Andrews lives. No, they want to go to London. Have you got Big Ben where you live? Huh? Have you got the Tower of London, love? A famous river running? Is there anything where you live of any interest whatsoever? Except for that wig that you've got on? No, there isn't. That's why it's filmed in London. Do you not think if I had time to scout around the country doing little videos of various different areas, don't you think I'd be doing that now? Wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, dear. I'd be out there in my little car, in my Toyota, which has not been crashed on a mini roundabout due to drink. Thank you. I think, actually, The I Just Can't Wait for Saturday programme isn't on this week. I wonder what they're going to replace that with. You don't think they're going to ring me up, do you? Chris, Ant and Dec can't do the show this Saturday. Do you want to come and do something for us? Well, I mean, I've got to do a little bit of DJing at Central Station. I don't think I'd have time to do it, dear. Oh, please. Well, no, I'm tied to Central Station. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Perhaps they could come to Central Station with the ITV television cameras. Yes. And film who's the drag act on Saturday? That would make good entertainment, wouldn't it? A lot of lovely swearing in air for them. Good morning, Christina Ewing. Hello, sweetheart. All right. Were you in hospital this week, Christina? Did I see that you were up the road at Frimley Park, darling? Hope you're okay. Good morning to the lovely non-Irish Mary from Ireland. It's Mary Warren, who couldn't make it last night, could you, Mary? Never mind, darling. There's always another time. You missed a good night. Damn good night in there last night. Such wonderful singers. And Shy's the mixed race guy. He's quite tall, quite young. I think he's about 22. Well, he was with someone in there last night called Harry. Harry, yes, Harry. That's a nice name, isn't it? From Milton Keynes, which is where Shy went home to last. Not that I'm one to talk or spread malicious rumours about anyone. You understand that, dear? I'm not one to gossip. You know that. Good morning, Joey. Joey Millen's there. Oh, there's Peter Robinson now. Hello, there we are. Peter Robinson turned up last night and sang Young Hearts Run Free. Perfectly in tune as always. Eh? Wonderful to see you, Peter. It really was. I have put my little name in the hat for I don't know if I told you that, for the city of Quebec, in case they wanted to do a little karaoke during the week. I've offered Tuesday, Thursday or Sunday. I don't know if that will come round at all. But there's a few people have put our names in the hat, so it just depends really who the new bloke chooses or whether he wishes to stay with the one that's there already. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I do miss that job. The city of Quebec. I said a few weeks ago, there's about four places I'd go back to. The Black Cap, which is closed. Not to DJ though. I wouldn't DJ. No, I've done my DJing now. I've had enough of that. Gave that up about 6 months ago, maybe about 7 months ago now. Just got really bored with that. The only DJing I do is a little bit of DJing at Central Station on a Saturday night. No, just karaoke or a quiz night. So Black Cap, Blue Shiz, Hammersmith, Blue Shiz, London Bridge. Oh, it was another one. And City of Quebec. There we are. They're the four. The only four places I'd go back to. A City of Quebec. I made a lot of friends there, including yourself, Peter, and your friend whose birthday it was last night. I'm terrified of getting his name wrong again. Kuram. It's very difficult to get these names right, dear. Thank you. Good morning to Rob Thompson joining us this morning. Morning, Rob. Nice to see you, sir. Babes. Am I still classed as a babes? Oh, I'm happy about that. Good morning, Kevin Bell. Thank you. Ben says it's also due to the fact everyone's hooked on the Wi-Fi. A repeater will still have the same problem. Everyone will connect to... Oh, Christ, will they really? Oh, dear. Well, I don't know what to do about that then. Unless you can think of something else. Yes, unless you can think of something else. A lot of people thinking that FM is always better. Good morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds joining us. You're stuck right in the corner there, Ray, aren't you? In that dark corner, dear. I can't see you. You've kind of disappeared from my sight and also most of my comments, unfortunately. You need to come into the light, Marianne. Come into the light. Ah, good. I can see the messages on the computer now. That'll be easier. Kevin says, in the US, we tried digital radio. It fell flat on its arse. Really? Well, I didn't know that. They never made enough radios for sale. We never really caught on. We're still on AM, FM. You see, I don't have a problem. The quality is nowhere near as good on AM. But I never had a problem listening to, I don't know, music and chat on... Certainly not chat on AM. Do LBC still have the news thing on AM? They used to have 11:52 news, didn't they? And the whole talk radio shit, the whole talk radio thing, chat radio, whatever you want to call it, is actually relatively small over here compared to other countries. You go to Australia and America, and there are so many different talk stations. Here we have LBC, talk radio, and I believe there's one in Manchester, just talking only station, and of course Radio 5, but that's all news. You know, we just don't have them here. I don't know why that is, why it didn't really take off so much over here. I do know talk radio struggles for listeners. They really do. It can surely only be the thing. I mean, for example, did you know that there was another DAB talk radio station other than LBC? Did you know that? Talk radio. Not talk sport, talk radio. Separate stations. Well, same group, but separate stations. Did you actually know that, I wonder? Perhaps that's what it is. People just don't know. Canada, likewise, is still on AM, FM. No digital. We won't hear of that nonsense over here in North America. Well, I think they tried to get everyone to buy new radios. I'm sure it was all to do with the commercial practices of organisations. That's what it was. Good morning, Tony Power. Morning, Tony. He's got a couple of albums coming out soon, which no doubt you may want to link on to this conversation, Tony. Feel free to do so. Okay. Let's have a look. Tony says, where you lose the FM signal on LBC, was it the dip past Peas Pottage? Yes, it was. That's where it was, Tony. That's right. You used to go down this thing and virtually all radio stopped working there, didn't it? I mean, I had to sing and talk to myself, which actually I didn't have too much of a problem in doing. Good morning to Laura Rickner. Morning, Laura. Herbert. I used that word yesterday. Did you? Was that in a derogatory way? Herbert. Laura. Laura, you're a lady of the world. Let me ask you this. There's a picture. Laura, how do you feel about programmes like Miss World and Miss Universe? Do you think it's demeaning to females and all that? Do you think so? You're probably nodding your head there. Right, well, how comes then, in the Super Soaraway Daily Mail this morning, we have a picture of Rita Ora, beautiful lady, who is laying, right, on a big stone with her legs open, and it says, you know, so true to form, Rita Ora returned to the photo sharing website Instagram to post a stunning shot as she stripped down to just a scantily clad nude bikini. You need to get on there, Laura, and post comments, love. Demeaning to women. How comes that's allowed now? Or they're happy to print something like that. Yet we can't see beautiful ladies like Miss World walking around on stages. It's the same thing, isn't it? This is what I don't... It's a double standards all the time, isn't it? Don't you think? The 27-year-old hot right now hitmaker looks sensational while displaying her gym-honed body in all its glory, going for a near-naked effect. And there she is, laying on this rock with her legs open. I think, is she dead in the picture? I'm not quite... She might be dead. Oh, no, her eyes are open. Mind you, your eyes can stay open when you're dead, you know. They can. Like that, someone had to put them down. Usually with two fingers. They do that on all the films, don't they, you know. And then one eye opens again. How scary. Oh, come on, Rita Ora. See, I don't get that. Why can't we have Miss World? Because there was nothing really... Miss World, Miss Universe and all that business. There was nothing really sexual about it. Or at least I couldn't see it. But then I'm gay, so that's probably why. But when you saw Miss World and these girls come along in their... You know, first of all, in the evening gowns and then the bikinis and all. You didn't sort of look at them in a sexual way, would you? Whereas that picture was just obvious what's going on there. So I don't know what you think about that, Gag. Ray says Ant lives in Chiswick and the crash was on a bend. Yeah, but that Lower Richmond Road isn't in Chiswick, Ray. That's on the other side of the water, mate. So I don't know why, I don't know exactly where it was. Tony used to work in Richmond as well, so there we are. Laura's doing some work on Gumshoe Film. taking over half the city at the weekend. Oh, we'll have to see that. Will that be on at the cinema? Will it be on at our local showcase cinema with reclining seats? Good morning, Joanna. We like the reclining seats. Showcase cinema, Winnersh. Very nice, thank you. Let's have a look. Good morning to Paul Dow. He was there as well yesterday. Paul Dow's on the Slimming World. He's done all right so far. 3 stone lost so far. Fantastic. I am, of course, a Target member. Oh, I haven't got my badge on today. I am a Target member, which means I've received my Target, and I'm now size. My new Selfridges jeans have come. Hang on, let me show you. My new Selfridges jeans. One moment, please. Oh, here we are. Look. New Selfridges jeans. Thank you very much. They arrived in a little yellow box yesterday. What waist? 32. Thank you very much. Size. Would you like me to get the old ones? Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get the old ones. Right, so if I put that waist together like that, I'll show you. I can show you before and after now with the Slimming World thing. One moment, please. We're trying to connect your call. Please hold the line. Your call is important too. I just can't wait till Saturday. Oh, Saturday. Oh, hang on a minute. I might have chucked them out. 1 second. I'm still looking. What are those there? Still looking. Aha. No, I'm not finding them. I don't know what size these are. Let's have a look. I don't know what size these ones are. FCUK. 1 minute. No, they're the same size. Oh, how annoying. I think I must have chucked them out, some of my old ones. 1 minute. I've got a pair of shorts downstairs. I'll go and get those. 1 minute. Stay there. Back in a minute. I just can't wait till Saturday. I found some. You're going to be able to do this, Paul. Please, mummy. Here we go. Right. Oh. What smells in this room? What's this? It's no opposite. Right. So, here are the old shorts. Okay? These are shorts, these ones. Here's the old shorts. Here's the new jeans. Right, you ready? Ready? Here's the new jeans. Ready? There you go. Yes! The ones at the back are a size 40. The ones at the front are, thank you very much, size 32 waist. You'll be able to do, well, you bet you still already can, Paul. I bet there's clothes now that fall off you, even though that you don't want them to. Huh? You'll be able to do that soon. You'll have to chuck away all your clothes and buy new ones. Why isn't it cheaper to buy smaller clothes? I don't get that. It's less material. And they arrived just in a nice yellow Mr. Selfridge box. Thank you. Yes. Morning, Alan Russell. Morning, Alan. Ben says, Anne had the accident near the Mortlake roundabout on the Lower Richmond Road. Now, where is that? The Mortlake roundabout. Yep. I've got you. With the brewery on the right. If you're going towards Richmond, the brewery's on the right. Yes. I know where you are. I know where it is now. I know where that road, because I couldn't recognise the wall. Of course, the wall is on the right-hand side as you're going towards Richmond. So you go towards Richmond and then you either go left to Sheen or right and round that bit of grass where there's a rugby ball on the front of it, isn't there? I know where it is now. I've got you. Thank you, Ben. I know exactly where that thing was. Stella says, how dare you? Oh, you're not moaning a lot this morning, Stella. How dare you? I live in the oldest village in Sussex. We have the oldest docking operation in the world. Well, we don't know if it's still there. It has a huge fire last week that you probably set the place alight. What did you do? Chuck a cigarette out the window like you usually do, along with the other rubbish that comes out your car as you're driving along, Stella? The oldest family-run independent brewery. A lot of famous people live there. Fatboy Slim still in my neighbourhood. Adele moved out last year, and we mentioned it twice in the Doomsday. Cheeky Chris, what person from America or Russia or China or Australia or wherever wants to come and look at, and I quote, the oldest village in Sussex? I bet it's boring where you live. You've got a little bridge to go. They've got nothing. What have you got there? Nothing. Is there a river going through it? A nice plastic infested river going through there with ducks covered in oil. You've got nothing to look at there, have you? Just, Fatboy Slim lives here. Is that the claim to fame of your village? Adele and that must have been a big house. Adele and Fatboy Slim live there. Is that it? What else? Come on, sell the village to us. Why would we want to live in that the oldest village in Sussex? Oh, whoopee-hoo. Whoopee-hoo. You got nothing there of interest for anyone, have you? And you wonder why I haven't been there with my little camera doing an opening video. Did you see? Have you watched the video? It's all there, dear. Have you got buildings with pretty twinkling lights along a little stream where you live? I mean, they want somewhere what's got electricity and things like that to look at. Any theatres in the oldest? Have you got a theatre there? No? No, nothing. No, I didn't think so. And that's why, Stella Lovey, because you live in somewhere that's very, very uninteresting. Unless you want to hear music. Or you perhaps depressed people could go to the village where you are and listen to Adele's depressing songs. Na 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 na. Adele, I love her. I think she's fantastic. Wonderful voice. But why are the songs all so bloody depressing, dear? Can we have a little bit of happiness? Happiness, the greatest gift that I possess. No, depressing. Probably like the village you live in. Are they all like you there? Do they all sit there picking faults and moaning at each other all day long? Moan, moan, moan. Oh, come and visit our village in Sussex. You can come and see Fatboy Slim. Whoopee-doo. Come on, Americans. Wouldn't you rather jump in the Thames and see if you can get dysentery while you've been swimming in there for a while? Or Weil's disease, what you get from rats. We got rats in London to look at, Stella, but you haven't even got any of those there. Oh, it's fab. At night time, you've got nothing to do. You just go out into the street when it's a bit quiet and watch them running across the road, looking for something to eat. That's why I haven't been to the oldest village in Sussex, because it's boring, lovey, boring. I bet your local radio's boring there as well, isn't it? Oh yes. And now on radio Oldest Village in Sussex, it's time to look at what we're going to do this week. And on Saturday afternoon at 2:00 at the First Sussex Scout Group, there will be a jumble sale starting at 2:00. I bet you go to those, don't you, Stella? Jumble sales. I bet you're the first one in the queue, aren't you? Waiting for those doors to open, and the doors open and that smell of old clothes hits you. And that's your smell going into the hall, dear. Why haven't you been filming here? What a stupid question. That's why. Good morning to Alan Russell, who's having hash browns, baked beans and onions. Why have you just told us what you're having for breakfast? Of what interest is that to anyone who's watching this programme today, Alan? Are you selling it from your house as well or something? Is that what it is? Are you opening a little restaurant? No. You're just telling us what you're having for breakfast. Why? I don't understand, Alan. You haven't put whether you're having tomato sauce on there. You know, there might be people watching the chat boxes going around at the moment there, wondering what you're having because you haven't filled it in properly. You've not mentioned tomato sauce. I mean, surely that's the most interesting part of that sentence that you've just written. What's wrong with people this morning? Kevin says the reason we have so many stations is our sheer size. The UK could foot inside Texas. I'm sure it could. I'd like to hear a few more talk stations here in the UK, I must say. Over on the YouTube, Paul Mosley's there. Morning, Paul. Didn't get the notification. Don't know anything about that, Paul. It's just a mystery. It's just a mystery to me. Notifications. Laura says, brave Miss World. Attraction is 50% character appeal. For me, attraction is personality. That's why you like me, isn't it, Laura? You like a bit of personality. We like characters. I like characters, Laura. You're a character. I'm a character. Ray Reynolds is a character. We like characters. You're right. Saw Tomb Raider yesterday for Alice. Whole package. I've never seen that. Tomb Raider, unfortunately. Laura says, I'm not a service person. Entertains me for a short period looking at bods and face in all honesty. Gillian Anderson was my younger pin-up. Kate Tempest there after, take note. So me, tits and arse don't make my heart race like a heart does. Oh, what a nice thing to say, Laura. That's nice, that is. That's nice, it is. Did you lose me? Did you lose me for a while? Oh, sorry, I don't know why. That was because I disappeared out the room looking for my shorts. Wendy, good morning, Wendy Young. Hello, Wendy. She's on the Slimming World as well. Lost a load of weight. What are you up to now, Alan? Wendy. Hey, Alan's not going to lose any weight at all, darling. He's having a great big breakfast this morning that he's thought the necessary to list what's on his plate for some reason. Good morning, Merlin. Morning, Merlin. Wendy likes Adele as well. You see, we all like Adele. I just wish she'd sing some nice sort of faster songs. It's like listening to certain people at karaoke nights who just insist on singing depressing ballads. Ben, I had people ring up yesterday, message in, and we've made a list of depressing ballads not to be sung at karaoke nights. You ready? Hero, Mariah Carey. I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston and Dolly Parton. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. The Rose. The Power of Love. Lady in Red. American Pie. My Heart Will Go On. My Way. All of Me. Chasing Cars. Now, I don't know if we did that last night. Funnily enough, I don't think any of these songs were sung last night. Chasing Cars was indeed on the list to be sung last night, but I don't think we got to it. I can't quite remember now. Chasing Cars, what a dreary song. Oh, how can you actually want to sing that? What makes you think someone wants to hear you singing that? Sing something like Peter Robinson. Young hearts run free. Eh? Other ones here. Tears in Heaven. Everyone Hurts. And I think, gonna stick my neck out here and say my most unfavourite depressing song sung at karaoke is Hallelujah. Oh, Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So there's our list of depressing songs. I should make a poster and put them all around the front. Do not sing these songs. Awful. Why are you talking to yourself, Wendy? That's very unwise. I do that all the time. Gavin, good morning, Gavin, says I should bring out my own CD. We would all buy it. As in BYE, mate. Bye. Merlin wonders what happens at an Adele concert. Does everyone sit there and just cry? Yes. Laura Croft is in Tomb Raider. It was filmed all around London. I've never seen that one, Laura. And Wendy's lost 4 stone, 4 pounds. There you go. Look at that. That's commendable, isn't it? 4 stone, 4 pounds. That's double what I've lost. And it's a little bit more than what Paul's lost at the moment. Paul's still on it. Paul was very naughty yesterday. He bought me in some sweeties. And I put them in my bag. I'm not eating these, Paul. But you see, this is the problem. Once I've been handed the sweeties, that's all that's on my mind. In that bag are sweeties. I had them in the end. I gave some of them away. I probably had half of what was in that bag. Very naughty, Paul. Please do not bring chocolate or sweeties in for me. We actually had 2 birthdays in there last night. Unfortunately, both people didn't tell me in time, so I couldn't do them. I mean, we did them, but there was no cake. Usually, if it's someone's birthday and I find out before, then I will go out and get a cake, you know. But unfortunately, the 2 lovely people whose birthdays it was last night, I didn't find out until too late. So there we are. And Kumar didn't tell me he was coming down. We mentioned his birthday as well as Karen and Louise yesterday. You may remember. But by the time I find out, was it Karen or Louise's birthday? One of the 2. That was too late, and Kumar, I didn't know he was even coming. Peter just turned up. Oh, there he is there. Peter says, Run by Snow Patrol is the other one. That's right. It's awful. Awful. I think people like the Snow Patrol ones because they get to be on stage for blooming ever. Do they really? Have you seen them in concert, Pete? Ben says, how about the famous Corrie song, Don't Cry for Me, Auntie Ina. Don't cry for me. Now, that doesn't seem too depressing to me, Ben. I think what is classed as a depressing song varies from one person to another. I like a big ballad. You know, some of the Whitney Houston ones, you know, I have nothing, nothing at all, that one. That doesn't seem too depressing to me. Whereas the Lady in Red, 'cause you're my lady, oh, just awful. Even the original sounds depressing. It's not the way people are singing these songs. It's the songs themselves. Awful, dear. Awful. Crying by Roy Orbison. Crying over you. And didn't Don McLean do that, or someone else done crying, I think? The lyrics are depressing. Yes, Ben, they are. You're absolutely right. Good morning to Russ. Morning, Russ. A depressing show today. Is that what it is? Oh, well, let's undepress it. We've had enough of this now. We were talking about London earlier. Stella was going on. She can't understand why the opening video is all London. Well, that's just how it is. Well, in this morning's Soaraway Sun, London is the second, dear. London. It says we are the second best destination in the world for tourists, according to TripAdvisor. The UK capital came second only to Paris in the 10th and Paris? France? Second to Paris? The UK capital came second only to Paris in the 10th Annual Traveller's Choice Award for Destinations. There we are. It's not bad, is it? Second, Paris takes the title of world number 1 this year, with Rome following behind London in 3rd place and Bali coming 4th. Well, I haven't been to Bali. Now, where's that? Is that Indonesia, Bali? I think it's Indonesia. New York, a long-time favourite with travellers worldwide, slipped down to 10th place this year from 5th last year, while London retains its spot from 2017. Well, my feelings there. I have been to Paris. I couldn't... This may sound stupid, but I couldn't find the shops. I'm looking for all these posh shops, like we got Harrods and Selfridges and Fortnumans and Masons. I thought they had like shops like that in Paris. Couldn't find them. I wasn't over impressed with Paris at all. Rome, fantastic. Oh my God, it's all there. It's all there, those ruins and everything, dear. Rome, fantastic. New York, well, I'm not surprised. It's busy. It's a bit dirty, New York. Like some parts of London. I did find New York a bit dirty. Certainly not my favourite place in the world to visit, New York at all. Really isn't. Whereas Florida, Orlando, I love it round there. So New York has slipped down to 10th from 5th. London has retained its spot from 2017. The rating comes despite the terror attacks that blighted London last year, including the London Bridge attack that resulted in the deaths of 3 people and 48 others injured. There was also an attack near the Houses of Parliament where 6 people died and 50 people were injured. An attack in Finsbury Park where 1 person died and 9 others were treated in hospital. Crete, Barcelona, Prague, Marrakesh and Istanbul. I haven't been to any of those places, which came 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th and 9th respectively, all ranked above New York. The awards are based on millions of reviews and opinions from TripAdvisor. Oh, my mate's on that. TripAdvisor. He's so proud and he keeps, every time he goes out somewhere, is it the same one for restaurants and hotels? That is TripAdvisor, isn't it? I mean, I think I might have read a few reviews, but I don't really do reviews myself. If I do a review, it's on here, you see. It's while I'm doing this load of old rubbish that you watch for some reason. I don't know why. But he's on the TripAdvisor. Whenever he goes somewhere, he writes a review. And he's very proud of the fact. And he goes on and on. As soon as he thinks he's got something, he goes on and on about it. And he's in, apparently, the top 25% of TripAdvisor reviewees or reviewers. He's so proud of it. I'm in the top 25% of TripAdvisor. I mean, how many millions of people does that entail? You know, there's probably about 10 million people in the top 25% of reviewees. TripAdvisor reviewers. Does anyone else do that? You can't believe it half the time anyway, can you? This young bag, this young bag, she does this YouTube review thing. She goes on YouTube and she's got like a big following. Like myself. I've got a big following. 100 million people watch my shows. Anyway, so she's got this following. She rung up a hotel and said, hello, it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I do video blogs and I've got 200,000 followers. If you give me a free hotel room and a free meal, a free weekend away, I'll give you a good review. Well, the bloke told her to sling one, didn't he? And then he wrote to the newspapers who picked it up. Who do you think you are, madam? Who the hell do you think you are? If you're going to review a hotel properly and do it on a YouTube or something like that, you go there as a normal guest, you pay your normal prices and fees, you don't let anyone know, you do it and then you come back and do it. That's how to do a proper review thing. You don't think, it's like when me and Ronnie, now this is not a review program of any sort. Okay, I don't go out and review places. I go out for pleasure. Okay, you know we do the afternoon teas. We like to go to we don't choose somewhere to go to an afternoon tea so that we can talk to you about it afterwards. We just go there for pleasure, for fun, and then I just happen to talk about it on my show. I don't go around to, oh, by the way, do you know I do a little show on YouTube and on Facebook Live, and if you give us extra food, we will give you a good write-up. No, we don't do that. They don't know what we do. That's how to do it properly. I wonder how many more other people are like that. They use their show to get things for nothing. That's wrong, isn't it? That is so wrong. Anyway, the bloke wrote to the newspapers and they picked it up and they outed her. They outed her as a fake, dear. Fake. Too much fakeness here. Eh? There's no fakeness on this programme. I'll tell you exactly how it is. Don't you worry about that. Good morning, Juan. For your computer systems, please attempt a purchase from an entity called Netgear, which currently carry Wi-Fi boosters for technical support. Now, I have ordered one. I can't remember which one it is. Oh, look, hang on a minute. We got an excuse now to go down to where Stella is. She's got 3 afternoon tea rooms. Right, let me make a note of this. Can you name them, please, Stella? I shall write these down. Now, whereabouts are you? Sussex isn't too far either. Have you got any stately homes doing them around there? You know, like big hotels. 2 large places we've been to. The Grove in Watford. That's nice there. Actually, not so expensive there either. The only thing of doing the afternoon teas in London, the Harrods one is very expensive. The Harrods afternoon tea is expensive, but the food keeps coming. I mean, you know, how many sandwiches can you eat, for God's sake? Do you know what I mean? But if you want, it just keeps... Oh, I've got to have my pills. It's 10 o'clock. I've got 20 minutes to have pills now. Otherwise, I die. It's true. If I don't have... If I don't have my pills, as Dr. Mike informs me to do so, I will die within 20 minutes now. Look, I'm starting to sag now. Oh, God. I might go earlier. You'd love me to die on here, wouldn't you? Paul says, has anyone sung Iron Maiden's Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, Chris? Yes, it was great. Bit of rock. It's a bit different. And the songs that used to be sung in the Belushi's bars were very different to the ones we sing in St. There was a lot of rock going on there. Alan says, don't take the pills, keep the show running. You want to see me die on this show? It'd be like a Tommy Cooper moment, wouldn't it? Yes. Hello to Patrick Fleming. Well, welcome. He's in Alaska. Oh, it's always cold there, isn't it, Patrick? I think you sent some of your weather over recently. Wendy's off. Bye-bye, Wendy. No, Birmingham. What's going on with Birmingham? Barry Manilow is supposed to be going to Birmingham. It was announced. Some of the girls told me, Birmingham. They knew I was interested in Birmingham. Oh, by the way, Wendy, I don't know if you're still there. Have you seen the opening video? I've got some of the girls in that. The 2 Angelas are in there, and I think one of the others. Can't remember who the other one is now. 3 of the girls were in my opening, the opening video. You know, the first 5 minutes. Don't know if you've seen that or not. Stella says, if you died on air, it would be your biggest talented show, Chris. Do you think so? Mark says the Ritz. Yeah, the ones in London are dearer, Mark. They are. Come on then, what are the 3 afternoon tea rooms where you are, Stella? I want to know, love. Give me a list. Merlin says, when I find I'm in New York, it has a short, dirty diesel smell. You're right. A short, dirty city smell. As it does in London at the moment. There's been a couple of days last week where I drove home, so it's not in the traffic, home after work, so we're talking around midnight, and the stink of fumes coming in my car was something else. It's awful, the pollution in these cities. It's not just New York, you know, London, Paris as well. That's bad in Paris. It's bad in the main part of Paris. When you're working down, I shall do this with a French accent, the Arc de Triomphe. Le Arc de Triomphe. Yes, it stinks there. It stinks of fumes and soot and horribleness. That's a city thing, I think it is. As Merlin's been to... Look, Merlin goes to Paris. He's offered to take me to Paris. How nice is that, Merlin? When are you moving into your new house? You've got to invite me round there. It looks beautiful. Perhaps I could take some pictures of the gardens. You know, I like plants and gardens and things like that. Yeah, I may come back as a plant. Although hopefully not a hyacinth. I've got hyacinths. My mate bought me just 3 hyacinths in a pot for the living room, and they flowered a couple of days ago. And you think, oh, they're not smelling. Well, that's because it takes them a couple of days to start smelling. They're smelling now. I got up this morning, went downstairs into the living room with my breakfast. Oh, this full of hyacinth smell into my living room. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, the ones in the garden, well, they bloomed just before the snow came down. And that's it. That's killed them off. So I've got about 10 minutes of flower, and they're like that now on the ground. My hyacinths look like they've had strokes. All 4 of them. They've gone down on one side like that. My hyacinths. You didn't know hyacinths could have strokes, did you? Yeah, you bit. Go on, say it. I'm waiting for someone to say it. Oh, that's not really funny. If someone's just had a stroke, you might upset them. Oh, get real. It's a comedy show, dear. My God, look. Stella says in her little village, they've got a Tesco, Aldi and a Boots. Really? Whoopee-oo. I can't wait to come down and visit your Tesco. Is that you're selling me, this village? Come on, what's your list of little afternoon places, Stella? I might come and visit you. Might. I've never been to San Francisco, Tony. It sounds delightful, though. I think I might like it there. Mary says Paris is beautiful. Yeah, but not number 1. Paris is number 1 on TripAdvisor in France. France. Stella says, don't start on me, Chris. Bracknell ain't a barrel of laughs. Are you kidding, darling? We've got a new shopping centre here. Have you got one of those in your little village? You know, the little one with Boots, Tesco's and Aldi. We've got new shopping centre, love. Phoenix. Super Dry. Le Occitan. But new cinema. We got it all, dear. TJI Fridays. Nando's. Calacino's or whatever his name is. Pizza Express. It's all there. We got a brand new shopping centre, lovey. Have you got that in your little oldest English Sussex village? No. Nothing there. Nothing to go and visit, dear. She says, Bracknell, a retirement town. Are you for real? Retirement town? We got Microsoft and everyone here, dear. What have you got there? Tesco's, Boots and Aldi. Whoopee-doo. And yes, I've got a very nice river running past my house. Winston Churchill lived here. Well, you're the same age, aren't you, Stella? You look like him, bearing in mind he's been dead for a few years now. We've got a big royal connection. No, I'm not the only queen to have lived here. Emily Sanday just moved in. Nick Berry still lives here. We get loads of tourists. They all come to see the manor house, where there's 2 of them. The laws abolishing slavery were agreed and signed here. Mrs May has a residency just up the road, and yes, we have a scout hut. Cubs, do your best. And a Navy cadet club, a jet ski and a yacht club. Nope, still not finding any reason to visit your place. Mark Kempner suggests songs not to be sung. If you leave me now, you take me away the very heart of me. Oh, baby, please come home. That's not depressing, though. It's a ballad, but it's not depressing, Mark. Not depressing. Eloise saw the opening. Did you see yourself flattening, Eloise? There's 3 of you there. Actually, that's bad on me. I should perhaps have asked your permission to use those. But you have been on before, so I hope that's okay. That opening will stay like that for months. So I don't change those very often. They're a lot of hard work, those openers. That 5-minute countdown is an awful lot of hard work. It really is. It's hours and hours of work that is doing something like that. Good morning to Julian. It's rather cold. Only 48 degrees Fahrenheit in Mallorca, which he has kindly converted to 9 degrees centigrade, because sometimes I get the conversion slightly wrong. As you well know, Julian. Good morning to you. Good morning to Patrick Fleming, who loves fresh diesel in the morning. Oh, it stinks, that stuff. I tell you what, I quite like this. I have to say, when I've not got a diesel car anymore. I've got a hybrid car. Yeah, surprisingly, you get good miles per gallon on hybrid cars. Mine's a bit of a big thing. It's a RAV4 Toyota thing, one of the newer ones, hybrid. I can get 55 to 60 miles a gallon out of that. That's driving carefully. I'm not a mad driver. I tend to be on the inside lane on a motorway, 50, 55 mile an hour. That's all I do on the motorway. I can get 55 to 60 mile on a journey on that one. Yeah, they're very good. But I love that. I used to like the smell of diesel going into the car, not coming out the exhaust. You know, when you're at the filling station, quite like that smell. Kev says you haven't been to Kansas, North Carolina. Talk about stinking, the paper mill. Oh, is it bad there? Well, funnily enough, where Ant crashed his car, they have a Mortlake brewery there, and that used to stink to high heaven of hops. I think it was hops. If the wind was blowing, it was the most vile smell. Awful. We don't like bad smells, do we? Mary, a sort of dirty, smelly dear. Get there to Specsavers. Hello to Seamus Lally. Good morning, Seamus. I think you're new to the show. Welcome along. Who's on holiday in Kilkenny. Oh, what a lovely place. That's in. You see, I've never been to Ireland, Southern Ireland, well, or North. I've never been to Ireland. My nan was from Ireland, and my idea of a nice holiday is countryside, and I would love to visit old churches and things like that. I did that a lot in Rome and Israel. Oh, wow. What a place Israel is to visit. It's all there. Whatever religion you're in, it's there. It's fantastic visiting Israel. If you're Christian, if you're in particular Catholic Christian, there's something called Stations of the Cross in every Catholic church. Now, these are numbers on the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are Stations of the Cross. Station number 1, Jesus picks up the cross. Station number 2, Jesus walks here. Station number 3, Jesus falls for the first time with the cross. So it's all there in these churches, right? Then you go to Israel and you're walking around and there's what's that number on the wall? That's where it supposedly happened. You are standing at the position that they tell you the cross was dropped. Wow. It's just something else. And then you see, as I say, it's all, whatever religion, it's all there. You see this big Jewish, I can't remember the name of the place now. Oh, Alan, you'll know this. A big mountain or hill where all these graves are. And this is where the Jewish people think that their Lord is going to appear. The Lord is going, sorry, not there, the Lord is going to appear on top of this hill, you see. So everyone wants to be buried as close to this as possible, and it costs them an absolute fortune to be buried there. So that's a bit of Jewish there. And also you've got this grand mosque. I think it's called a grand mosque there as well. And all the Muslim people go there, I think, on a Friday afternoon. And it's packed with people, packed. What a wonderful place to visit. I can't recommend it enough, going to visit Israel, and in particular Jerusalem. And you come up the hill and everything is golden. I honestly, I'm not joking. You look down and everything is either gold. When I say gold, I don't mean gold metal, but that colour, because it's all made of sandstone. And you're not allowed to build in Jerusalem unless you're using this particular building material. Absolutely fantastic. Seamus says he missed Steve Allen this morning. Perhaps you could take over from him when he is away. No, they wouldn't want me. I believe I was told that Steve has heard my show and he doesn't think I'm LBC. And if he doesn't think that, then that's probably right. I've always said that to people. I'm not what commercial radio is looking. I can't have been doing this 13 years for someone of importance not to have heard it at some point. Not possible. And Steve told someone that I wasn't LBC. So but I knew that anyway. I accept that. I just do this thing as a little bit of fun. You know that. I would like to do it like on a proper radio or some sort of minor little satellite TV station or something like that. But I honestly do not believe that will happen, Seamus. But fortunately, with the world of internet, anyone can just come on and do this, can't we, eh? Ain't it fantastic? Sometimes I hate technology, but it has got a lot better. How many times do you get a blue screen now? Does it ever happen anymore? Do you remember when you first had a computer? Oh, the blue screen comes on. Error XXXOOCC. See manual for details. Could you ever find that code? No. Computers are a lot better. So no, I don't think I'll be taking over from Steve Allen. He is the top man, and he's Steve Allen. Although I must say, I've unsubscribed from the LBC. I did subscribe to the podcasts, but and I used to have the LBC podcast on generally when I went into work because I'm not a fan of Ian Dale. He's just really serious all the time. That's probably that's why I haven't got a relationship. Never serious enough. It's true. Always laughing and joking. You can't be miserable all the time. Whereas you listen to like Ian Dale, it's just all political and serious. Not my cup of tea. What he does is very good. Not my cup of tea. And I used to have the podcast in, but then I discovered Eamonn Holmes on talk radio, and he's he's wonderful. And he just comes across as your friend. He's talking to me. He's talking to me about various things. What were they talking about? I think they were talking about the ant crash yesterday. You know, so I quite like that. Still many happy remembers from the 90s Black Days. Lots of happy, uplifting music. No boring ballads, Seamus. No, you're right there, mate. We didn't used to do... Oh, we did do a ballad. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Did you ever come on the Monday 70s and 80s nights? We always had one or two ballads at the end, which tend to be the same ones. We would play. I remember playing Donny Osmond, Puppy Love. And what's the other Osmonds one? Let me in your arms again. Let me give my love to you. We used to play a ballad at the end, didn't we? And always finishing with, it's raining men, hallelujah. Isn't it funny, Seamus? I've virtually lost contact with everyone who used to come to the Black Cap, other than about 5 people. How sad is that? I'm including all staff, all customers, all DJs. That saddens me. It really does. But there you go. It's one of those things. That's like the sort of thing I'm in. You know, once you've gone from somewhere, that's it, mate. Paul says, I sell online and I always get top Amazon reviewers requesting to send me our products review. Do you really get stuff for nothing? Oh, no. No, I can't be doing that. We can't be asking for something for nothing. Where's my... People are watching this now to see if I'm going to die at 20 past, aren't you? Aren't you awful? You really are. Laura, bring your daughter to the slaughter. Karaoke in London Bridge or a terrorist attack? Someone said it was British fake news. Thank you. There we go. Here's our list of places to have afternoon tea. The Bounty Cafe. Time to Taste. And Amos. They're very close to Brighton, so an abundance of coffee and cake shops. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Brighton, Stella. I like Hove, actually. I like Hove. All right. Eloise, yes, I have permission to use it. Thank you, Eloise. It's only been running about 2 months, but there we are. I'm glad you see that. Tell the other girls that. The only thing is, yeah, you could direct them straight to this video, actually, and just tell them to watch the first 5 minutes and they'll see themselves on there. Tar and petrol are the best smells. Tar. I like the smell of tar. Do you know, and another diesel smell I like coming from boats and airline fuel. Do you like that one? Airline fuel. What a lovely smell. I can just go around the back of an aircraft and sniff that. But do be careful that engine doesn't switch on. You'll be sucked in and cut up into a million pieces. The Courage Brewery at Mortlake, thank you. Not far from the Griffin Brewery. Oh, it used to stink there, Ben. It stunk. There are 14 stations of the cross. Thank you, Juan. Did I say 12? Sorry, there are 14 stations of the cross. You're quite right. Yes, Stella. Calvary Hill, that's it. There's all these Jewish people are buried there. There are some spaces. Anyone else who's interested, but you'll probably have to sell 10 houses if you want to be buried there. I mean, what's the difference to us? To us, it doesn't matter. You know, a cemetery is a cemetery. It doesn't need to be close to anything. Tony says, when I first started working, I used to work as catering manager at Chiswick Brewery. Did you really? It used to be called Fuller Smith and Turner. Yes, I remember. Used to love the smell of the... Oh, no, I can't stand the smell, Tony. I used to drive past. That's the area where I used to be a telephone engineer. That was my main area, Richmond, Ham and Mortlake. Lovely area to work. Oh, beautiful. Oh, those houses, dear, on Richmond Hill. Oh, gosh. Good morning to Zach. Why do you have a photo of Mrs Doubtfire behind you? No, that's the Queen, dear. Are you talking about that one? That's the Mrs Doubtfire. Aren't you awful, dear? Hope she's not watching this. I'll have you know the Queen is a regular viewer to this programme. She is. And that's my mum up there. There's my mum and me. Few years old, that is. And there, of course, I don't need to tell you who that is, do I? Oh, wait, that one. Which way are we? There we are. Don't need to tell you that is the great Barry Manilow himself. Looks like we made it. Who's coming to Birmingham, but we've got no information. Do you remember a guy called Brian Hayes, LBC? He was good, but miserable, yeah. Marie Osmond. Paper Roses, the Donny and Marie Show at Flamingo's Hotel in Las Vegas. Paper roses, oh, how real those roses seem to me. Ooh, oh, I'm feeling ill now. Why is that? Oh, God, it's 10:20. No, I'm not going to die. I can have them an hour each side of 10 o'clock, up to an hour. Sugar beet processing plant in Bury St Edmunds. That smells a lot, does it, Julian? Awful, awful. Okay, let's have a look there. Stella's always going to be there for me. Thank you, Stella, darling. Candy floss is very nice. But it's, you don't want to get that on your hands. It's horrible and sticky in it, candy floss. Good. Hello to Sampath, who joins us a little bit late today as well. Juan enjoys jet fuel exhaust. Oh, it's a lovely, that smell, jet fuel. Right, we must get on, dear, because I've got to go to Slimming World this afternoon and go and get my weigh-in. I am predicting this week I will have maintained. So hopefully I won't have gone up or down. Last week, what was I last week? I was bang on 12 stone last week. I'm expecting to be bang on 12 stone this week as well. So I'll let you know that in the next show, which will probably be tomorrow morning, okay? Meanwhile, it's time for today's birthday celebrations. Oh, yes. Happy birthday this morning to Tom Edwards. Excellent DJ. And Thames Television, he used to do the bits in between the programmes, you know. And a very good morning to you from us here at Thames Television. Tom Edwards here at 9:30. It's time for our schools and colleges. That's Tom Edwards. It's his birthday today. And it was a big-time DJ as well. Happy birthday to you, Tom. I know we talk occasionally, don't we? Just on the Facebook, little tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Happy birthday to Tom Edwards this morning. To Robert Irvine, who's one of the people who's trying to reopen the Black Cap in Camden Town, where I had some of the best times of my life in there when I was DJing in there. Happy birthday, Robert. Matty Thorne. Good morning, Matty. Happy birthday to you, young Matty. Brian Wood. Happy birthday, Brian. Ivan Gubat is a young 53 years old today. John Peters, 63, who's looking after a horse. Looking after a horse. Happy birthday, John. Charlie Wood, young, 21 years old. Happy birthday, Charlie. Robin Thomas is 47 years old today. Robert Barker, happy birthday to you, Robert. Peter Hodnacki, good morning, Peter, and a happy birthday to you. And Danny Costello. I like that surname of yours, Costello. It's got a nice sort of Italian ring to it, that one. It's your birthday as well this morning. Have I got an age for you, Danny? Yes, a young... Life does begin at 40, believe me. Anyone who's sort of 25 and doesn't want to be 40, don't believe it, mate. My best age was 32 to 47. That was my favourite period of my life. 32 to 47. It really was. So if you're 25 or 30, oh, that's really old 40. Incorrect. As anyone who's gone over 40 will probably tell you, that is the best time of your life, over 40. All right? Happy birthday, everyone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tom, Robert, Matty, Brian, Ivan, John, Charlie, Robin, Robert, Peter and Danny. Happy birthday to you. I think I got 11 names in there, didn't I? 11 names. When I was a little boy, one of the jobs I wanted to do was that bit in between the TV programmes. I actually wanted to be either the voice behind the globe, you know, and a very good morning to you from all of us here at BBC One. Because the voices were very, very different then. Very, very different then. They were like authoritative and a bit posh. Wonderful voices. If you go on YouTube, type in BBC Continue. Oh, I'll tell you what, you can type in Tom Edwards. Tom Edwards, Thames Television. That's Tom Edwards, who we've just wished happy birthday to. And you'll see him on there a few years ago, admittedly. But also type in BBC One Continuity 1970s, and you hear the voices behind the globe. They used to have a globe in between the programmes. At one point, in the 70s, it had a mirror behind it. You know, and the whole thing used to... Oh, it was wonderful. Very clever how they did it. And it was a real model. Because there were no computers. It was an actual model. Someone had made this globe. And it was turning round with a mirror behind it and all that business. And you listen to the voices then, and you listen to the voices now. And I'm sorry, they're all a bit wishy-washy now. Wishy-washy. And people who can't pronounce words. Awful. Awful. You listen out how properly done it used to be in the 70s and 80s. And then you go and watch tonight, your television tonight, when a little indiscriminate red box comes on and says BBC One. It doesn't even move. This is a box sitting in the corner of the screen. And oneness. What's all that? Oneness. Who comes out with this crap? Oneness. Bring back the globe. And proper announcers, please. Tom Edwards, you could get back in there and take over. Good idea. Kevin says nowadays most people want to be Americanised. No, it hasn't become Americanised. But they just took away all the personality on ITV. They took it. Paul says, what's it like at 60, Chris? Beg your pardon, I'm not 60. Not for 4 years and 11 months. How scary is that? 60 in 4 years and 11 months. I'm speechless. Tony says, too many problems in your teens and 30s. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're absolute. 20s, well, my problems were in the 20s. Oh, God. And I wasn't, when it comes to parents, I wasn't a particularly nice teenager, I don't think. But judging from other people's children, it's all the same. That seems to be a teenager thing. You know. I don't know why. It must be a growing up thing that when your hormones are running all over the place, aren't you? Thank you. Good. Which picture is the Queen? The photo on the right or the one that looks like Mrs Doubtfire? Shut up. I hope you're not referring to my mother looking like Mr Doubtfire, because she will dig herself up and come and haunt you. Oh dear. All right, we're going to disappear now, boys and girls. I've got to get ready for my slimming world and have my pills before I die. Thank you ever so much for joining us on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure, as it always is, to have a little bit of a chat with you in the morning. Have a lovely Tuesday, and I'll let you know about my slimming world tomorrow. And maybe I might have a little date tonight as well. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Cheerio.